Pokemon's been around a long time. The premise has always been pretty straightforward. Wander around a world inhabited by monsters and use and abuse them for your own personal gain and glory. Nice, wholesome fun. But with a game that's been around for so long, surely you'd think there'd be a lot of changes to the series. It wouldn't just be the same game with a fresh coat of paint like so many games do for their sequels and prequels and reboots. Surely they'd change enough of it to make it feel fresh and fun, right? Right? Pokémon is a trendsetter series. It made way for tons of shameless knockoffs and bootlegs. Sure, it was an RPG, but it basically took the generic RPG hero formula and said, hey, what if instead of 4 or 6 heroes, we had hundreds? And it went with that. Pokémon started out with having such a gigantic roster of essentially playable characters that it was just jaw-droppingly amazing at the time. To this day, it's still pretty redonk just how many characters they've made, not only with just the Pokemon, but with the trainers and townsfolk as well. On top of that, for a game that's somewhat limited by a semi-realistic setting, it's crafted some pretty unique locales. However, with Pokemon, it's almost a fleeting fancy. Yeah, tons of us still love Pokemon. It feeds our nostalgia, but when you think of it, every Pokemon game is just a glorified expansion pack. Sure, Mario games get called out for being samey, but they still offer large variety, even in their mainline games. Mario 64 plays insanely different than Galaxy, but at the end of the day, they both still feel like a Mario. They run, jump, and collect stars. The unique gravity of both games just makes them feel different. But Pokemon doesn't really have that twist, no unique spins. The game is always just these turn-based battles, with the most unique thing being a new type. Not to mention with their trailers nowadays, they literally spoil about 80% of the new rosters, so you don't even get to have fun discovering them, which with copy-paste games needs to be there. There's also all sorts of dumb rules that don't make any sense even for the in-game canon. So that's how we want to play. Big Papa Smoke, I choose you too!
Whoa, you put that shit away.
What?
Put that fucking Litten back in its bowl. It's got no business here.
Wait, but you just called your friend.
Yeah, cause we're wild, cut from the same cloth. I've known this guy my whole life. Where'd you get that charge bug, huh? Same place you got that Litten?
Look, man, should I just... No. I got this. Look, if you're gonna fight with 2, I'm gonna do the same. It's just like a duo battle.
No, it's not, cause duo battles have trainers. This fight just has a bunch of pussies. Well, because we're cats and you're...
Yeah, I get it. Look, clearly this level 25 charge bug is gonna beat your ass. I just want to finish this fight fast and get the experience.
Well, good luck, cause I ain't gonna take my turn till that little bitch goes back out of the battlefield. Huh? What do you think of that? Whoop. Nope, no running. It ain't your turn. Still Meowth's turn. Maybe I'll call for more help, who fucking knows?
That's Pokemon at its core, a turn-based RPG, which of course isn't bad, but it is monotonous. The games do a nice job of adding a few fun features that they'll toss out the next game though. Like, for real, why can't my Pokemon follow me around anymore? Especially now! They have the assets for every Pokemon. Pokemon does try to differ, but not enough. It still tastes like the same game. I mean, if I eat a cheesecake and I love it, then wow, I know I love cheesecake. But if you give me another cheesecake that's prepared the same as the first with just a few chocolate shavings on it, it'll be like, alright, I mean, that's still tasty, but, and then boom! Third piece, and I'm kind of full of cheesecake at this point. This one's the same as the first 2, but with strawberry on top? Well, dang, I mean, this is nice, but where's the chocolate? You can't have that. Why not? You clearly have the stuff to make it. Because fuck you, that's why. Here's your bill. And even though you essentially ate the same dessert, each one was a little more expensive than the last. Why do I always do food analogies? Am I fat? I'm fat. Now, I don't think Pokemon needs a giant overhaul. It still needs to keep its core, Pokemon Sun and Moon being the recent tries to do this mix of new and old. However, the battles are the same. Like, almost exactly the same. The difference is being the super moves, which aren't unique. It basically just tacks on a 5th or a 6th move to a Pokemon, and uses a cutscene that's fun at first, but it just becomes tedious watching it over and over and over and over again. Like, I get it, the cat blows up the world, nice. On top of that, even though they try to change it up, you essentially essentially still have gyms. Totem Pokemon fights are alright, but they don't really provide a challenge, and most of the trials essentially boil down to facing the NPC trainers in the gyms from previous games. There were puzzles and minigames in other gyms. I don't know why they thought this was different. For a game that's trying to be new, what's to stop it from swapping up some of the dumb formula, like these big bad gym leaders only using 2 or 3 Pokemon of the same type, and then having them act surprised when a literal 11-year-old beats them in battle? What's to stop them from having more fights like Red or Blue? Most of the rivals nowadays are just dumb. They're just dumb. Look at it, he's dumb. Ugh. Oh. I have played Sun and Moon, and I was having fun, but I barely invested time into it. And I was excited for the game too, but while I was playing, I forgot to save one day and I dropped my 3DS and the cartridge popped out. I had lost 2 hours of work, and honestly, I have not been able to bring myself back to playing it. Why? Because I thought about it. I thought, I don't want to do this again. But it wasn't like another game where if you lose, you'll redo it because it's fresh. Even though I hadn't beaten Sun, I feel like I had. Because I knew I had. I knew even if I redid my 2 hours of work, afterwards I would have some gym battles, a run-in with the enemy team, a fight with the Elite Four, and a oh my god, look at this legendary Pokemon moment. Not to mention that with the streamlined process, nothing provides a challenge. I literally just choose a team and stick my main Pokemon on every fight, and watch him power up the entire team thanks to the new EXP share. It's kind of picky, but some of the changes just irked me. Like, why is Pikachu the only Pokemon that has voice lines? I get that he's the mascot, and it's not horrible, it's just annoying. Imagine if you were playing Skyrim or something and you had a run-in with a bear early on. It tosses you a wink and says something like, "Oh, what's up? This is me, the Skyrim bear. Oh, I'm the mascot of Skyrim." Sure, at first you think it's cute, but as you progress, this bear keeps showing up no matter how hard you try to avoid him, and he's always just saying something stupid and out of place. Like the anime voice for Pikachu is cute at first, but it really just stands out from the other Pokemon. Anyway, like I said, the games don't need an immense overhaul, but that doesn't mean they couldn't stand to use one. Not something super drastic, but maybe even basic like action commands a la Mario and Luigi. Pokemon sort of does this now with the Pokemon being able to dodge or do more based on affection, but what if instead of luck or affection, they were tied to action commands? Nothing overly complex, but maybe you can time a button press to take less damage or even dodge if your stats are high enough. Just something a little extra to keep battles a bit more involved. I mean, whenever I watch the Pokemon anime and they're like, oh, fucking dodge that thing, I want to do that. I want that to happen. Or for a bigger change, take Ni no Kuni. In this game, you collect monsters and fight in a 3D environment, so what's to stop Pokemon from doing the same thing? To that extent too, maybe adopt a Tales of style, where each directional special is just one of your Pokemon moves. Sure, if you go on those routes, it'd be more of a spin-off or a departure, but maybe that's what Pokemon needs. I mean, look at the popularity of Pokemon Go, and that's barely Pokemon at all, minus the catching. Granted, as a business, which is all that really matters now, it works. By the time old fans of the series like myself get tired of the games, you have a new, younger generation playing their first one and not knowing what the previous ones had. Pokemon is a strong brand, and if you can make a Pokemon Tekken game, I think it's safe to say that you could try for a more complex 3D Pokemon. The Pokemon Company essentially knows something's wrong, which is why these cash-ins keep coming out. Not to mention they continuously shut down Pokemon ROM hacks or fan games because they do bring the new and the fresh that Pokemon could use. Even simple things of making it fun online or having capable gym leaders and stuff. If these were left out, it would cause people to realize that Pokemon could be more and make them less likely to buy games. But with current generations, all you need is some shiny visuals with a cherry on top and they'll gulp it down. Why can't Pokemon go the route of Zelda or Final Fantasy and make a big departure while still keeping what makes Pokemon, Pokemon? Oh, wait, I know why. Because that'd mean that they'd have to try. Which is the perfect segue into my latest announcement. Instead of editing and animating videos myself, I'll just upload giant clips of me and my friends playing Overwatch with zero editing involved. Enjoy. I'm not actually gonna do that. I have like some small semblance of artistic integrity.